I thought of shooting another one just at the same spot. And in one of the last videos, I ended up saying that I wanted to share my experience of time. That's the traffic. I'll show you this view again. Try to adjust the lighting. Oh, there's a cloud. There's a cloud right on the tip of the volcano. Yeah, the sun is setting here. And in just a few weeks, I feel like the sun has shifted its position from here to here. From here, now it's setting here. It's brighter here. So, yeah, the view is amazing from here. So I thought that I'll continue talking about my experience of time psychologically, yeah. Physically, of course, there are changes, very evident changes of how time affects our bodies, our environments, our friends, our families, our spaces. Like, it's very noticeable how time affects. Where do I start with? I think I'll start with saying that there were a few weeks, like a couple of years ago. So I'm talking about how I feel that time was an illusion, like psychologically. Physically, of course, we see the effects. So that experience, it's a bit whimsical. I don't know, I still feel like sharing it. Like, you may think that it's not your cup of tea. That's totally okay, but I do feel that a lot of people may relate to it. I don't know, I may be overestimating, but still I'll continue sharing. So it was a couple of years ago, and there were a few weeks that I was just working from home, and there had been, okay, I thought that there's a cat. So I'd been working from home, and I don't know, like, of course there had been periods in last few years that there were times that I've been working from home, but this was just a couple years ago. 2024, 2023, 2024, around that time, way past COVID. And I was working from home, and there were a few weeks that went by, and I was just so much involved in work, about planning my future career-wise, taking steps towards that, learning some new stuff there, upgrading my skills, making myself more employable. And there was also this period where I had started reading a lot. Now, the subjects that I was reading on, it was quite diverse. Like, there's nothing like, the only parallel that I can draw is maybe there were some you can say that they can be philosophical, but again, I can say very easily that almost everything that we do in life, and every book even a fictional story is based on some philosophies, right? So that is the only parallel that I can draw. And I don't know mentally what I was going through. I was definitely um, seeking some change within myself, that's for sure. But now I was not into self-help or self-improvement kind of uh, material. No, it was fictional, like over the fine lines of fiction, philosophy, biography. Yeah. So I was over the few weeks, that was just my focus, and of course a bit to take care of my health, eat clean, and somehow, and I was working from home, so I was not going out much. Like, even if I was going out, I was not going out for something like to meet people. No, I was just going out for my usual runs, evening walks, like those kind of things. And it was it's kind of amusing that I think I remember very vividly those few weeks. I think I totally missed. It did not come to my mind that I need to have a look at myself in the mirror. Like, no figurative, nothing figurative about it, but practically looking at myself, like when you change and like you catch a glimpse of yourself on the mirror when you're brushing your teeth or whatever, combing your hair. But I did none of those activities in front of a mirror. Like, I was so mentally consumed in the things that I was doing that I don't remember looking at myself in front of mirror. And because I was working from home, somehow there was this experience. It may sound like a stretch, but there was this experience that I could not relate to any of the identities that I hold. Relate as in because it was so irrelevant at that in that few weeks, and through the things that I was doing, and I lost a sense of my appearance. I lost a sense of my all other attributes to an identity, like what's my name. I even I am not schizophrenic. It's not about me forgetting my name, but because it was not relevant, it was not important. I just lost the sense of the attributes to my identity. And there was this one day where I after a few weeks, out of sudden, that I actually catch a glimpse of myself in the mirror. I think I finished a book at that time. It was not a very thick book, it was very thin. I think I finished, like, I was reading multiple books at the same time. I usually do that because I never pick a book with a goal to, finish it in next few days, next few weeks. No, that's not my goal. I just want to cruise through whatever I read and somehow absorb. So it takes me a lot of time to actually complete a book. And that's why I feel that I want to give some time to other books parallelly. And no, it doesn't happen to me that I confuse the content. No, like, they are separate books. I totally remember the flow of every book that I am picking up and reading simultaneously. And one of the books I had finished, it was the thinnest one out of the lot. And I happened to had some time enough to, I don't know, like, it was not a goal. Like, it just happened randomly. I looked at myself in the mirror, and it was a few seconds, then a few minutes, and it was like I could not recognize myself. It was not about any sort of cognitive distortion happening. No, like I was totally sane. That was like the, even like I have been living my sanest mind since few years now, sanest that I can be. And I looked at the mirror, and I was kind of just looking at what was in front of me, and I don't know what was going through my mind at that time, but it was tough to wrap this idea that this is me, and this is how I look, because it was just tough to recognize myself and also my name. It was one of the weirdest experiences that I've had in recent years, and I don't know how to make sense of it. That's the best way I can describe my experience to you. I just I even kind of share this experience with some of my friends who I thought would be capable of understanding or relating to what I'm going through, but apparently not. Maybe they have not experienced such a thing yet in their respective lives. And I was kind of taken aback by my own experience of living in this body. I was taken aback. And you know what followed? Because I had been working from home and I had all the freedom to go anywhere. So one evening I chose to visit my childhood home. And too loud. Just show you the view again till the noise recedes. Just look at these colors. And there's the moon right here behind me. It's such a rugged place. I like it. It's not polished or artificial. It's very rugged and very natural and raw. All of it. The place that I'm staying at, I don't know what's happening with the light. It's getting too bright. Okay, so I had this experience of not realizing that it's me who I am looking at in the mirror, and I also could not I don't know, why is it so bright? What's happening? Yeah, I think this is better now. So I could not relate with my name as well, and one of these days I chose to visit my house. I was living in the same city, just my current house was a different address to my childhood one. So I thought of visiting and that was a place which me and my family, we had quit like maybe a decade ago, more than a decade ago, around that time. And yeah, so um, when I was an adolescent, around that time, a kid, and then now as a grown-up person, to decide to go back to visit, and I went alone. It was a very weird experience for me, because the neighborhood actually looked a bit abandoned. It was an old neighborhood in the city. So many bikes here. They got louder, I think, with the time. And once I went there, things appeared the same as I remembered. They appeared the same, but the proportion was very different. Like as a child, because my body was smaller, and that was the place that I was born and raised, I had this memories of the parks near my house, the lake near my house, these trees that were just facing the front of my uh, balcony, the house itself. Like, of course, I could not enter inside. I think there were people living there now, but it was the same. And now, when I visited it, all of it seemed so small, like small in size, not small in a different way, in any other different way, but in a very literal way. Like the proportion seemed smaller, and just imagine that as a child, things seemed so giant to you. And there were these two trees, I totally remember, like even the structure of their trees, these trees. Sometimes I have dreams of that neighborhood, of me playing with my friends, chasing them through the narrow roads, the parks, the trees. I have vivid memories. And these two trees were still standing, and they seemed so much smaller. They were smaller now that I had grown up into a bigger human being, taller. They seemed smaller. Everything seemed smaller. The lanes seemed narrower, shorter. The house seemed smaller from the outside, at least. And the park was huge. Like it's a huge park, like a big lake, and there was a park surrounding that lake. So I went everywhere. I think I took 3 or 4 hours to explore that area. Yeah, I think it was late afternoon one day that I decided that I'll go and visit it again. Yeah, so it had become an abandoned locality. I think people must have shifted to newer, more developing localities in the city, and I explored every nook and corner that I remembered as a child. Played so much in that locality with my friends. Every lane, like I think we have stepped foot in every lane possible in that radius of 2 kilometers. And the park in itself was huge. I think it must be 5 kilometers or so. It was surrounding a lake. So we used to go there for evening walks, morning runs. We used to play a lot. Like there were different playgrounds, different type of playgrounds supporting different type of sports. There were even small hills, inside the park, man-made hills. And when I went there, it seemed very small. Like when I was a kid, it used to seem so big, and we used to feel tired after running up and down so many times. It was, I don't know how to describe it in words, but it felt surreal. It's like physically, really being in a dream again. That's how it felt. Sometimes dreams feel more real. That those 3-4 hours felt like I was in a dream, with everything being proportionately smaller than what I had always, like what I had lived as a child and what I have always been dreaming of after that. And yeah, there were some painful years of childhood mix, but then when I went there, like, I could not help but just see places and areas where there were laughter and giggles, and like if physically in front of me I could see me playing with my, it was very surreal experience. I could see myself playing with my friends. I could see my mom calling me and my brother back into the house, and my sisters, my siblings, we having so much fun. Like I could see, so the house, it had a very almost open balcony. It was on the ground floor, and then there were rooms behind, so I could still peek in, and I could see my family and me still being a child with my siblings, having the best time. Like it was such a like I could see everything in front of me happening again, things which were so happy and fulfilling in the very moment. Like, we having some junk food, buying it for super cheap from the local vendors. Even the distance of the shops from the house seemed so short. And when I walked this time, it seemed so short. As a child, it used to feel like, oh, so long, I have to walk and get my favorite candy from that store. These were like small makeshift shacks, not proper supermarkets or anything. Just small makeshift shacks that you see on the beaches, like they were right in the neighborhood. And yeah, I was walking through that neighborhood. It almost felt like abandoned, but there were new people that I'd never met. I tried to find friends from before. I thought that I'll bump into someone known. But I did not. And yeah, so I just walking, and I could see just images of me, my friends, my family having good time around that whole area, neighborhood. And even in the park, it had not changed much, which is so strange. It had not changed much. Just in proportion seemed much smaller now as a grown-up. But it just felt like time has not passed. Physically, it had passed, but not psychologically, mentally. I was there again. It just felt like that. And just imagine to feel that you are back, maybe in your past, and then not being able to find a single person, a single known face, single familiar face where you were practically raised, where every other person in the neighborhood we were friends. We knew each other. We were a very tight community, I can say, at that time. Just imagine spending time feeling that you are back in your past and not being able to spot any single person that you may know. It was very strange feeling. And then I was hoping to meet one of the influential people from my life, who was my teacher, one of my teachers. He used to live in the same neighborhood, so I went to see if he's at the house or no. And I was very expectant that throughout the neighborhood everything has changed. Like, I cannot spot anyone, but maybe he's there and I will go and meet him finally after so many years. And I had made 2 visits before and actually met him, but I think it had been a long ride now. So I went, and then it was the small house with a very traditional house, with a shed, and a very traditional house, like roof and a shed, small one. And it was a standalone house, like not a big apartment or anything. Like the whole neighborhood, there were like several standalone houses. And when I went there, that lane looked completely different, because most of the small houses, they had been deconstructed to make these new multi-storied buildings. Not high-rise apartments, just multi-storied buildings, maybe 2 or 3 floors. So yeah, my teacher's house, it was nowhere to be found. It was like poof, it was just gone, not in the scenery anymore. And I was like, am I in the right place? Is the lane right? Did I make the right turn while walking, since the lanes were so narrow? And then I was like, yeah, it's supposed to be here, and his house is nowhere. And there was this under construction multi-storied apartment going on over there. It's almost dark. So beautiful, so beautiful. Every passing moment, it's unique, and it's beautifully unique, I can say. And the sun, I'm saying sun, it's the moon. The moon is so bright. It's so bright. It looks so small in the video, but it's really bright. And I know my face looks so dark. It's pretty much dim lit now. The sun has totally set down. Yeah, I think I'll just probably continue this experience in another video with better lighting. Moon is just right behind me. So yeah, when I went there, the house was gone, and I just felt lost. I just felt lost at that time. And I just experienced time differently. Like psychologically, I don't know how to explain it. It just felt that time is an illusion. But the best things I saw while walking throughout the neighborhood was these animals, farm animals, pets. Not pets, but strays, stray cats, stray dogs, some goats, with their kids, like very small baby animals. It was so adorable. Yeah, that made me really. That's the only experience which made me a bit happy to see this sort of new life, and just this feeling, the vibrations of love coming from these strays. So many small kittens, puppies, kids, baby goats. They are the cutest ever. You have to see them when they kind of hop and run. They're so cute. Yeah, I think it's getting pretty dark now. Yeah, and I cannot find any better lighting, but I'll end this video by showing this to you. Such a heavy cloud coming over here. Such a heavy cloud. Okay, I'll see you again.